Ooh, it's cold as hell out here in the East Coast. But anyway, in one of my previous videos, I said, it's one thing to say things in the public. It's one thing to put out whatever viewpoints you want in the public. In front of the fans, on social media, or whatever it is. People can just either ignore it or they can ride with it if they want to. Just like kind of with the whole election stuff that's going on, right? But it's a whole different situation when you get up in the court. When you get up in the court, you got to come up with facts. You can't spew out fallacies and it ride. And just like the president that's going out is realizing that when he's in the court system, it seems like Tyson Fury's team might also be realizing that as well. Tyson Fury's the fight that was supposed to be on December the 5th, they canceled that fight. I guess that fight's not happening. And it never was really official anyway. I never saw the other guy that they supposedly were going to fight say anything or confirm anything. There was never any venues that was put up. Nothing like that. Tyson Fury never got his UK license back. So I don't know how he would be having a fight in the UK anyway with no license. But that fight is done. That's it. Also due to the fact he would never have been able to even have it in the United States anyway, because of this court thing that was about to go off. So this week they're supposed to be meeting in mediation, and obviously if there's no resolution with that, it's on to basically like a case where, I forget the word of it, but where the whatever the judge decides, that's what goes on. If both sides can't agree, can't come up to some kind of agreement, and whatever this judge decides would be binding. And I think it's just a situation where they understood that the facts that they were going to be able to put out there just was going to be good enough for the judge to be able to say, okay, cool, you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight him. And if he decided not to fight him, there was going to be a huge financial penalty. And I know some people might be like, oh, well, he's all the way in the UK, he doesn't have to pay him. Clearly, just like they had this set up in the contract, where they would have to go through a mediation like this, I'm sure they also had stipulations in that contract that would make it easy for them to get those funds that was, due to them. I'm pretty sure they probably did something where it's attached to probably to ESPN. They probably have something attached to ESPN, because they're going to make sure, they're going to understand that if they had to go to the UK, it would be difficult to get those funds maybe. But if you have things attached to someone like ESPN, ESPN's going to have to pay up. They're going to have to ante up, especially due to the fact that it was a situation where it was two networks that were coming together and making this deal, And also just due to the fact that this would have messed up a lot of things for a lot of people. If this fight doesn't happen, it messes up a lot of things for a lot of people. Number one, ESPN and Fox, they're not doing any kind of joint venture again. That's not happening at all. They're not doing that, period. That's going to be number one. Chances are, even Top Rank and PBC, if they're to do any kind of deal, it's going to be pretty much the one of the lower tier fighters, where they're getting a flat fee check, and that's it. Where they don't have to worry about back end. They don't necessarily have to worry about rematches or anything of that nature. So that's going to be tough. And as far as ESPN would not be holding anything that pertains to Tyson Fury. They would not be holding any Tyson Fury fights. That contract that they have with ESPN, that thing is going to be null and void. They're not going to. It's just not happening. It's just not going to happen. So whatever fight he was going to have on December 5th, if he was to have it, that wasn't going to be shown on the United States. If he did any kind of fight in the United States, if he couldn't get his UK license, ain't none of those fights are going to happen in the United States. No broadcast is going to touch you at all. Clearly, Fox and Showtime aren't going to touch you. HBO's out the game, and ESPN's not going to mess with you. Due to that whole situation. And plus, you probably wouldn't be able to fight in the United States anyway, because there'd be all types of injunctions and everything against you. And if you did fight in the United States, they're going to freeze your paycheck. So it just all over, you know. And also, how does that, when it comes to this other promoter, how does that also work as far as with their deal that, you know, kind of goes on with ESPN and Top Rank? It just would have been a complete mess for everybody. This wouldn't have just been a thing where he walks off and, oh, that's just it. It wouldn't have been that type of situation. And when it comes to Anthony Joshua fight wasn't happening. Okay, number one, Anthony Joshua has to fight Pulev. That's number one. Number two, Anthony Joshua has 2 mandatories. He's also mandated to fight Usyk after his fight against Pulev. That's already mandated, and Usyk has made it clear he's not stepping aside when it comes to that. So he's going to have to fight Usyk. He's going to have to do that fight. So Anthony Joshua wasn't going to be available anyway. He's going to be busy going and knocking out Pulev and knocking out Usyk in like 6 rounds. You know, and getting paid for that. That's what he's going to be busy doing. If they can even do the bouts. Because from what I know, they're closing the UK back down. So I don't know if they would even be able to do the fight at all. But, so from what I see, it looks like the information we'll be getting this week is that Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury is back on, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do it sometime in February. That's what I'm thinking. Or they might end up even pushing out even further back, you know, to wait to see if things can really open up. But at the end of the day, they can have some type of crowd in a place like Texas regardless anyway. So, you know, this is the week. We'll see what happens by the end of the week when it comes to this whole situation, and we'll go from there. But what I expect to see is them basically saying, you know, Tyson Fury is wrong in this situation, and he has to fight Deontay Wilder, or he's gonna have to come out that pocket tens of millions of dollars. Well, ESPN and Top Rank is going to have to come out their pocket tens of millions of dollars. And that's something they are not trying to do. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.